What is going on, and welcome back everyone. Today we're going to be talking about, yes, SNS Spear. That thumbnail said it all. Let's take a look at SNS Spear and see what actually happened. Coming from a PvPer, actually. So let's just take a look at this and jump into the actual perks themselves. So let's just jump into, man, we're doing a lot of jumping today. SNS first. So SNS apparently got a nerf. That is laughable at best. So the only thing that really changed on SNS right now is the Achilles heel. Instead of slowing people on the third attack, you're now rending them for 15% for 2 seconds, which in my opinion is actually better. You're getting more damage out of SNS. So if you're worried about using your SNS, don't be. This is a great thing. If anything, it's a buff, not a nerf. So whoever's saying it's a nerf, you know, throw that out the window. This is a direct slight buff. And I actually like this. I very much prefer it. And you know me, I play SNS Spear, so I know what's up. Now, let's just jump into the Leeching Cyclone, since that got tweaked. So if we jump into Leeching Cyclone, now you can see it says Cyclone hits heal you for 32% of weapon damage on armor, 52 on weapon. Limit 3 activations per use, which just means you can only use it on 3 people, or 3 enemies in general. Let's be honest, if you're using this on more than 3 enemies, you're probably either in a clump in OPR or in a war. And let's be honest, how often does that happen? Not often. Now, you're still getting 3 hits off this, which is, in my opinion, it's more than enough. I thought they were going to drop it to 2 actually, so I'm very happy they kept it to 3. Leeching Cyclone is still a nasty, nasty perk to have. Skill, whatever you want to call it. You want that on your armor and or your weapon. It is such a good skill to use. It's still OP in my opinion, but it's not dangerously OP like it was before, where you could heal up for like 12,000 HP. So Leeching Cyclone got a slight nerf, but I wouldn't even really call it a nerf. I would just say they just balanced it back to normal. Like, it's still a great skill. By all means, run it on your SNS Spear build. So the last thing that we got to talk about on this is going to be the dex change. So let's go over to attributes. So they swapped the 150 dex right there. So we get a critical hit after a dodge, trigger once every 10 seconds, which is basically worthless. That'll get reworked in the new season 2 or season 3 thing when they do the rework of all these skills or perk points, whatever you want to call these. So that got swapped with the 300 perk, and now dodges cost on 10 less stamina is now 300 perk. Now, does this kill SNS Spear? Hell no, not at all. Spear is basically the infinite stam weapon. It has so much stam regen built into it, it's ridiculous. So Spear SNS by no means got a nerf whatsoever. I will say, obviously this is a direct buff to bows in an indirect way. So what I mean by that is bows get this, will by all means will be using the dodges cost less 10 stamina, and a lot of melee builds will not be pushing 300 dex. You might see some Hatchet Greatswords go that far, you might see an SNS Spear go that far, but you're really losing out on a lot of damage when you do that. Right now, my preferred way to run SNS Spear is going to be 200 strength to getting that 10% damage on slow, stun, and rooted enemies, 100 dex to get the +5 thrust, and, you know, obviously the 10% crit damage, and then I will also play 200 con. Now, I also said this previously in a video before they did this shit with the health, that you could probably run 150 con now and it work almost as well as 200 con. And we'll get into that in another video, but let's just say it works really well. We'll jump more into that in another video though. So that's basically SNS Spear in a nutshell. It by no means got a nerf at all. If anything, it's still one of the best builds, if not the best melee build to play in medium. Light, maybe not so, but I still play in light every once in a while. Yeah, I can just show you my my loadouts real quick. Gear sets. I call it Parasite because there's, you know, leeching, a lot of Parasite. And I've got Parasite Light, so I play these both, light and medium, and then I've got my Great Axe Sword and Shield for my other medium catch. I call this medium catch because this pairing, Great Axe Sword and Shield, I use Charge, Reap, and Gravity Well, and then I use Lightning Strike on this. You can catch any light build with this build. It takes some time, but you will catch them, without a doubt. So that's SNS Spear in a nutshell. By no means is it a nerf. If anything, it is a slight buff to SNS and a balance of the spear. So that's my 2 cents. I'll show some clips here and we'll jump into what that looks like, just to give you guys an idea how well it still works. So let's just jump into that right now. Okay, so as you can see here, we're in OPR, we're playing a little, having a little fun. I play to kill healers mostly when I'm playing this, and I'm doing this in medium just because I'm just having a good time. I never worry about getting kills. I'm running coup de grace, coup de grace, whatever you want to call it, to hold healers in place and kill them. Whiffing that Cyclone right there like a pro. And like I said, I'm just trying to get kills and just kill healers. I don't really care about anything else when I'm playing OPR. It's just good practice for me to practice that. Even if I'm getting jumped on by, 10 guys that go see here, maybe 5 guys at a time. I got the healer kill, used my special there, tried to get out of it, got caught, and got killed. It is what it is. Next, we have a nice little 1v1 against a Spear Hatchet guy. Just to show you how good this build is right now. And 200 con, like I said, 200 con, 200 strength, 100 dex. This guy might have been a newer PvPer. It's hard to tell. I mean, he did okay. I mean, I wouldn't say he did terrible. But as you can tell, Spear, SNS, just such a great little combo. I'm just finishing out with the Spear. And what is next? Let's see here. Next, we have a GS Hatchet, I think. I think that's what this guy was, or GS Bow, maybe. Not much of a chance, unfortunately, for this guy. And just like there, Leeching Cyclone, just healing you for so much. The Spear is so damn good right now, even with the nerfs. I'll put that in quotations. It's hilarious. Here's a nice little group fight. We had a bow guy up on the edge there, doing some nice work, helping me out. Cyclone again, keeping me healed up. Using the Spear for all the pokes. Just so good. The stamina regen is so good on the Spear. That's why that 150 dex change does not affect us at all. And right here, we are going to get the kill eventually. There we go. Got the kill. We actually pulled back into the fort. Or we take a little outnumbered fight for a little while. Which I don't mind taking outnumbered fights because, like I said, I'm not afraid to die. They're here just messing around with these guys to see how long I can last without getting killed. Obviously, these guys can't hit anything until they finally get me clumped up. But right there, I use sweep for that reason. You can knock down 3 to 4 people at one time with sweep. It is just incredible. I've swept 6 people in one shot. One last thing I wanted to talk about was the swap again with the 150 dex, 300 dex. A lot of people are outraged and on Discord and Reddit, saying how this is killing off-meta builds and you're ruining it for the rest of the players, XYZ. To that, all I gotta say is just stop being a snowflake. Let's be honest, the game's gonna change, balances are gonna happen, you're gonna need to adapt and move on, or just stop playing the game. And it's unfortunate that people, they see something like this and they just quit the game because they just say their whole build has been nerfed. I'm like, well, if you needed that 10 extra stam, then run hardy on your ring. What else can you do? The amount of people that are crying about this is ridiculous in my opinion. So without a doubt, SNS Spear all the way. Go kill some stuff. Once again, I appreciate you all. Peace out.